Welcome to Victory Health TV. I'm Dr. Jake. Today's episode 8, the People's Herbalist, Danny Parrott. The reason that we do this show is that I truly believe there's a missing part in healthcare, that this is not just whether it's herbs or exercise or mindset, that this is not just a part of missing healthcare. It's actually the future of healthcare. People like Danny, the other people that I have on this show, we have different parts, but all together, we have a full healthcare system, physically, chemically, emotionally, spiritually. This would be separate and distinct from what we receive in an allopathic medical model. My hope that this is, as we begin to put medical care in its place, which is if your arm gets cut off, you know what, you need like emergency medical care. But too many people use that system for their health care, and it's not health care, it's emergency care. And so because there is a power and healing inside of you, I believe that we can all be our own doctors. And so today I wanted to introduce you to the People's Herbalist, Danny Parrott. Hey, Danny, how can we get people connected to you online or any other way?
Well, I'm on Instagram. I have been deleted already. So I'm on my second account now. So you can follow me at the People's Herbalist on Instagram. I have a Telegram, the People's Herbalist there, and also my web stores, parrottbeverages.com. That's where you can see all the herbs that I have and a lot of different information on adaptogens and what they can do for our bodies.
Beautiful. So today I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. I think the first thing I was really curious about, and we're gonna talk about health freedom today, and that's where we're gonna land the plane. But I wanted to ask you, I'm just curious, how did you get into being the People's Herbalist?
Well, it started, I always felt as part of the people I love to help, right? Social work was my background, is what I went to college for. I knew I wanted to be of assistance to humanity in the different ways, social, emotional, and just spiritual aspects of human in our interactions with each other. The herb journey came after I lost a couple of family members, and my best friend's fathers lost their lives to cancer. And wow. I knew that there would be additional ways to deal with the traditional chemotherapy and all that other stuff that they're doing to hurt people. There had to be some natural ways to assist the body. And that's really what drove my journey into herbalism. And once I looked and saw all the research that was available, and then saw not a lot of people knew about this, I felt that it was more than a calling to take this and run with it.
It's beautiful. So what you were seeing with the people that were doing the traditional chemo and radiation with sickness and disease, those people weren't building health from the inside out.
Not at all. They were only degrading their health. And, some of them I watched, they knew that they didn't even want to take it. They knew that it was dangerous, but pressures from family, pressures from the medical system, they made the decision to go with that. And obviously the health declined and they lost their lives. And I always wanted to find natural ways to offset that damage, to enhance the body using plants. And that really dove me into a lot of research into what plants do what. And then I got so overwhelmed at one point. There was so many herbs and so much research. Then I started to redirect my search to what are the best of the best herbs? And then I said, well, to answer that question, what are the most prevalent and wide occurring issues? Mm-hmm. So I looked into that and put those things together and found the class of herbs called adaptogens. So if we can have a class of herbs that can not only reduce our stress, so help us feel better emotionally, but also enhance our immune system to help us fight off pathogens and, remove harmful things that are built up in our body. And then lastly, help with the regulation of hormone function, which is legitimately everything that occurs, that is the instructions for everything that occurs biologically in our body. So one class of herbs can hit all three of those things. I said, yeah, this is where I'm focusing. I'll figure out stuff while I go along and continue to experiment and learn, as we grow. But yeah, that was the key for me. And I fell in love with them. And then I started using them myself, using them with family members, using them with friends. And then that's when I was like, you know what, this has to be a business model, because I know that if I'm helping people with these herbs, then this is a viable way to actually build upon something that can be financially empowering. And it's taken off, especially over the last year, with a lot of people that were sick and looking for options and answers. I had compiled this data for almost half a decade, and to make an assumption that these herbs would actually help during this last year pandemic, and then see it happen real time, it was like amazing to me to see we can use simple herbs to have a tremendous impact on all parts of our life.
I really believe that it's something that's been hidden over the last century or so. If we go, and I said this on my last interview, if we went back to the 1850s, I bet you I would know about dandelion root. I would know about yarrow. I would know about, ashwagandha or whatever it is. But the information has been, this is like it's been stuffed to the back of the internet. And this is, especially with adaptogens, we use adaptogens in my clinic to help people with stress. I mean, this is the most stressed out time in the entire, humanity. And the way that we deal with it is totally unhealthy. And plus the things that we do, from riding on social media all day, and then the media that we consume, and then, just the lack of understanding of positive mindset, just stepping yourself out of this sickness-based model and into something different. I really think it's beautiful. When we talk about adaptogens, are there specific ones that you recommend over other ones?
I think one of I look at every person as an individual. I know I'm preaching to the choir here with that, but I look at the problems that are the biggest. And I think gut health issues are probably one of the largest issues that we face. And I know Goji Berry is really good. The Goji Berry extracts are tremendous for hollow organ function, so intestines, gallbladder, stomach issues. Using Goji Berry extract is really, really beneficial. And I know starting at the gut is so crucial to build upon every other aspect of health. So I know Goji Berry is one of my favorites. I suggest that almost to everybody, unless you have allergies to nightshades and etc. But that is definitely one of my favorites and go-to for kids, adults, everybody in between.
When we started getting into natural herbs and just supplements, there's all kinds of different supplements you can take, and especially like right now they're trying to take NAC off the market. That's because of the anti-inflammatory properties. This is a big huge deal. Where do we know? How do we know how to get like quality herbs? Like, what is the difference between getting something that's not quality and something that is quality?
Now, this is a big issue that a lot of people don't even address. I have a background also in food safety. I used to work for a company called Ecolab, where we would do testing for Walmarts, etc., all over the place to make sure that the quality of the foods were actually legitimate. And in the supplement market, it's kind of the gift and the curse, because they don't have heavy FDA regulations. So things you find inside of a lot of shops may not even have the herb that's actually written down on the package. So sourcing that actually is going to boil down to trust. You have to know the person that you're getting your herbs from, and do a little research on them and get some information from them. If they can provide you third-party testing, etc., it comes down to doing your homework on the supplements to find the high quality stuff.
So, you should read your labels on your food that you eat. You should always know what's going on in your body. But a lot of people don't realize that you actually can call the company, and most companies, they don't mind you calling and asking about safety and quality. And in fact, the ones that are really adamant about having good quality and safety, they love for you to call, because it's kind of like proof that they get to, that they can provide you with what you need. I remember we did a study with a guy named Dr. Vita a while back. He started online. It was called VitaCost, way back in the day. And he actually sold Vitacost because he started to third-party test the supplements that he was selling on his website. It was one of those mass, like production supplement vitamin shops online. It was one of the first ones online. And I think that he found out like 5 to 10% of the supplements that they sold on that site were actually contained the amounts of vitamins and nutrients that were on there. So dude, quality, don't hesitate to call and to touch people. I like this. You said, and he's got a TikTok as well. So it says, you said, and I asked you about this when we first started, it says, empower your internal terrain. What does that mean to you, Danny?
That means that you are the source of your health or your sickness. It's not outside of you, it's only internal. So your terrain, that is everything. You have to build that. That's the only focus for anybody that is not a medical professional trying to treat, right? Everyone else that falls into the layman category, you should be focusing on you. Don't even think about the title of a disease because it's just a bunch of symptoms that's just given a name. So you focus on your terrain. Your terrain is telling you the answers. Those symptoms are telling you where the solutions lie. So you have to focus on inside of you. Where is it hurting? What is going on? Try to come to some type of self-awareness and a coordination of what's happening internally. So empowering your brain is everything. That's, your rest, your hydration, obviously the foods that you consume. I think herbs shouldn't even be considered supplementation. They should be part of the food pyramid.
I agree.
But have it in there, and make sure that you have a mindset and try to find yourself some peace. Try to find yourself some downtime to come into a place of healing.
That's so good. So yeah, you're your own doctor, man. Too many people, and even you may not have a title, but you're a doctor, dude. You are you docere, you teach, and we need to teach people, and people have to teach themselves. And so it does take time. You do have to back up and go, wait a second, this is how I'm feeling, but I'm tired of treating my symptom. Every time I get a headache, even when I take this pill or potion, lotion, whatever I'm doing, that headache always comes back. Why am I getting these headaches? Not how do I treat the headache? What's the cause of it? And how to remove the cause of it? How do I fix that internally inside? You said, and this kind of goes back to it. I love this, and I'm gonna pull apart your Instagram just a little bit. Ooh. But you said, people constantly ask me for herbs to beat the effects of the injection. Think about this. There's a market now for post-injection detox. The best form of protection is prevention. Using herbs should be a daily practice. If so, the need for medical intervention is low. And I would add this to it. This is how the medical system is, that still treating the symptom instead of getting healthy and staying healthy. What's the herb or exercise or lotion that I can use in this sick moment when we should have been putting these things in our body in the first place? Why don't we know? Why are we so ignorant to this, Danny?
I think it just comes down to what is being taught by the individuals that are considered the authorities of health. Their information is what trickles down to the masses. So at this point, we're doing a opposite addressing of data. Like I'm not a medical professional. I'm one of the people. I'm an herbalist, and I'm just sharing literally opposing information that empowers people when they're going to their doctors, who are considered the authorities and experts of health, is telling them something totally different, as if they don't have any power and they need to rely on that system. So, and I say this because, well, how can I say this? When you don't have an expertise or you don't have a passion to understand something, like for me, I'm not great in understanding cars. So I trust my mechanic. So when somebody doesn't understand their body, they would trust their doctor. And now it comes to a point where if I can't trust my mechanic anymore, I wouldn't take my car there. Now we're coming to a point where we can't trust the information coming from our doctors, so we need to do something else.
That's right.
And that is be self-empowered.
This is it. So this is where I want to land the conversation today, sir. Is you posted this too, and so go follow Danny on Instagram. But he posted this, and I'll show you guys this here. It's this green. It was part of the Health Freedom for Humanity. I guess it's like kind of like your mission statement, and it says there is power in numbers. Build community and organize both locally and online. Seek out peers who are interested in health freedom. Use these connections to organize a political action, to build local health resources, to learn, educate, and for mutual support. This is what this is really about. What do people need to know about the current healthcare climate, health autonomy, and health freedom?
Well, when it comes to health freedom, it boils down to all the information and knowing what your options are. If you do not have all the options on the table, essentially any decision that you make is not a free decision, because you don't know all the things that you can possibly do to help your body. So there's the education and the information aspect of when it comes to health freedom, which I think is paramount, because I can't have a conversation with somebody to tell them an option when they don't even believe it is an option. That's right. You know, so and then there comes the indoctrination of others using fear, because most people don't even know that the options are there, and then they're pushed into doing something that is not in their best interest for their health. Maybe someone else's best interest for profits or, you know, quotas or whatever, but it's not in the individual's best interest to build their body and their health. So that I think that's the crux of everything. Just making sure that we can share this information freely and everyone knows, because I mean, the herbs, it's not a theory. They've worked for many thousands of years before modern medicine.
That's right.
During modern medicine, it just so happens that most people have forgotten or has been erased from the teaching scrolls of medicine, and that information is being lost, forgotten, but we are bringing it back to the forefront and memory, based on real-time data. Like right now, we're conducting a case study. We just finished our first one, case study using these adaptogens for people that are experiencing long-haul issues from their initial CV infection. And the proof is in the pudding. The people have shared stories, you know, and when we can continue to do that, it offsets all the other stuff.
We have to be able to get the information out, and what we're running up against is an old school censorship that some people don't even know. I think they've got us just kind of in the corner in social media where we kind of circle each other and we're talking with each other, but a lot of our information isn't getting out. I feel like the moment that the information gets out, that person gets cut off. What I want to come back to what you said. We have been on Earth for thousands of years. Only in the last 120 years or so have we developed these chemical pharmaceuticals, pharmakia, witchcraft, and from a deep level, spiritual level, these things numb your body. They numb your brain, the chemicals, and we got to get this, is that there are people out there, just like with Johnson & Johnson, I think they had a recall on sunscreen or something like that. They've been in trouble with talc powder before. Now the same corporation, the same company, it's not an individual, it's not somebody loving, it's not Danny Parrott, it's not Dr. Jake Parrish, it's somebody else that's got a financial interest in your healthcare. And when you get damaged from it, that person suffers no consequences. When you get damaged from the medical model, and the majority of people that come into Victory, they've been to Vanderbilt, they've been to Duke, they've been to these hospitals, and all they've gotten is surgeries and medications. And in the end, there's nobody that ever says, hey, you should go do some vitamin C. hey, you know what? You should do a hyperbaric chamber. Very rarely do we get that. And so once again, just want to thank you for doing what you do and empowering people. If I'm a beginner in natural medicine, antivirals, anti-inflammatories, adaptogens, it doesn't even have to be a herb or a plant, Danny, maybe a mindset or just something that really encourages me to go through, because when I start to change my lifestyle, sometimes I don't get those quick results either. You know, like when you start a diet and you don't lose weight for a week, that can be discouraging. What are just a couple things, whether it's plants or herbs or whatever it is, what are a couple things that you would recommend that somebody do to start to step out of, in confidence, in certainty, because certain people do certain things. And so if I'm not certain to step out of this model, I'll never step out of it. What are a couple things that you believe that people can do that make them certain to step out of the medical model and start to be their own doctor?
I like that question. I like the way that you pose it as well, because I think there's a couple ways to skin this cat. And one is the confidence to know that there's tons of research to support using herbs to enhance your immunity and your overall well-being, especially, the adaptogen herbs. Now, I think for a beginner, the first thing that we should do is find something that actually works with your routine in your life. Because I can tell you all the herbs in the world, I can give you all the data points in the world and share all the experience in the world. But if it doesn't fit with your lifestyle, with how you wake up, how you go about your day, your children, your job, your passion, your dog, squeeze in either a nice walk, right? And we'll not talking about herbs for a second. Talk about going outside, putting your feet in the grass, going. Yep. I personally, I have no shame. I will go and hug a tree, right? I don't even care, because I know that there's grand emotional health aspects from giving hugs, and then I also know that there's grand health aspects from the vibratory balance of being in nature. Yep. So if you hug nature, that's twofold of enhancement, right? I like birds and stones, right? You try to do one thing to hit multiple benefits. Good. But those are free. Those are free things that anybody can do at any time. Yep. But building a routine of using teas, right? If you drink coffee in the morning, maybe drink yourself some nettle tea. Try to find a herb that has a ton of minerals, a ton of phytonutrients and health aspects that can be proven. I think nettle is probably the most nutrient-rich tea that we can drink. So for a layman, go get the most bang for your buck. Go get some nettle tea and drink that consistently. Also, using adaptogen herb tinctures, I think are really easy as well. You can put those in your water, or you can put them right in under your tongue. Pretty seamless. You can that can be put in juice to give to your kids. Just finding the little tweaks in life to make things that seem grand really easy and seamlessly built into your life. That is the key. So I know there are tons of herbs out there, and there are many benefits to using herbs, and I can probably list 100 if we wanted to, but finding that routine that works best for you as a human, as an individual, that is always the key. And then building upon that with your experimentation, using an herb for a month time, see how you feel, then try another herb for a month time, see how you feel. So the experimental experience, that's everything. And building it into your.
So man, you get me really excited. I think that we're in this natural community, dude. We're really like, we're just on the same page. I've got 4 kids. I've got a lot of friends that go work out in the morning, and I can't do that. It doesn't fit my lifestyle. And so we choose to work out in a different way. We do different things. I have to prep like meals like 3-4 days in like ahead of time because we're feeding so many people. And if we don't do that, and if we don't really adjust our lifestyle to that, then we'll get to Tuesday or we'll get to Wednesday night. We didn't prepare for any food. And now we're not tracking the way that we're supposed to with our healthcare. And so Man, I think that that's a beautiful thing, routine. I like this other thing too that you said is try that out for a while. Why not? Why not try that for a month and see how you feel with it? See how that helps you. And if it doesn't work, you know, it's not going to hurt you. You know, ultimately, it didn't necessarily help you the way that you wanted to help you. One more time, let me connect for people because our time's about up. And so let me connect people with you again. If I want to connect with the People's Herbalist, where do I go?
You can find me on Instagram at the People's Herbalist. You can find me on my web store, which is www.parrottbeverages.com. Or my other web store is MOVERsElixirs.com. You guys can reach out to me anytime. My link tree on the Instagram has a text number that you can send me a text and we can set up a consultation. If you want to just talk, we can build kind of a customized herbal routine or protocol for you. I'm always open. I'm always looking to continue to build with other people that are in this realm. And the more that we share our experiences together, everybody grows. So I'm loving to reach out to the people, especially people like you, Dr. Jake, that are the healers. I love reaching out to you guys and anybody else that's looking.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
So, so once again, you've been watching Victory Health TV with Danny Parrott. Go connect with this guy, and you know, don't be afraid to. I think if you're a person out there, don't be afraid to shoot too high. I reached out to Danny, and he was like, "Dude, I would love to talk and just have a conversation." So, it's just because somebody's out there and they're kind of popular doesn't mean that they're unapproachable. And so this man is very approachable. Go touch base with him. And once again, we love you guys. Victory Health Radio, Victory Health TV. If you ever have any questions about what we do, who we are, go to Instagram at Victory Health Radio, at Victory Health TV, and at Victory Health Center is the clinic that I'm at. Have a great day, guys. We love you.
Appreciate you.